Good morning, my brothers and sisters. It is June the 6th, 2020, and it's the 84th day of the semi-quarantine. And in this passage at the middle of Matthew chapter 10, Jesus does his absolute best to talk you out of being a Christian. He says, beware of men. You're going to be dragged. You'll be delivered over. Brother will deliver brother to death. There's this conflict of kingdoms, and you will be hated by all for my sake. So it's not exactly with a great amount of advertising prowess that Jesus tells his disciples what's coming. Let's listen. This is verse 16 of Matthew chapter 10. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues. You will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. When they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say will be given to you in that hour. The Holy Spirit is going to be with you. That's my line. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will deliver brother over to death, and father his child, and children will rise against parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in one town, flee to the next, for truly I say to you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher, and the servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? They persecuted me, and they're going to persecute you. So this is just a horrible passage. If you were writing a gospel and you were making this stuff up, this is one thing you would leave out. The sort of the bad news part of this. There's a little bit of good news in this passage, but there's a lot of bad news. And this passage would be overwhelmingly bad, except for the but. It would be a dooming passage, but for the but. And the but says, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. The other good news is that for it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. So just after this in the Gospels, the Lord promises the Holy Spirit, that the Holy Spirit is going to be with you. He's going to be with us to the end. That the Holy Spirit is going to be in our hearts. He's going to be bringing things to mind. It's going to be an active relationship with his Spirit. And that really alone balances out all the bad news, that we get the Spirit. That's thought number one. The Holy Spirit's thought number one. So you got that going for you. The second thing is this concept of endurance, that we are to endure to the end. How long are we supposed to fight this fight? To the end. He tells us, but the one who endures to the end. Martin Lloyd-Jones, at the end of his life, he wrote with a trembling hand a note to his wife and children, and I quote, "Do not pray for healing. Do not hold me back from glory." And the next Sunday he dies. There's a guy who understood that he was to be filled with the Spirit and to walk with the Spirit and go all the way to the end. So I hope his end part there is an encouragement. The third concept is what's called unction, Unction. Unction is a God-given liveliness of, it is something that preachers have when they're moved by the Spirit to preach the Spirit. First, they have a groundwork of preparation, but then the Spirit moving through them. And this is something that this passage says is offered to faithful Christians who are persecuted and who are so faithful they get dragged before the courts and governors and kings for the sake of the Lord. So here's my prayer. My prayer for us today is, get serious about this. Perhaps for you and perhaps for me, bad things are coming and difficulties are coming, and the turning of society against us, perhaps. So get ready for that. Number two, if you don't have the Spirit and you're just kind of watching from the sidelines, this is no time to be a sideline Christian. This is a time for getting on our knees and asking for the Spirit, because difficulties may be coming. And then the third thing is that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and this ends at the end of our life. We're all going to live forever. The end he's talking about is the end of our life. May we go all the way with the Lord. I bless you.